As much as I love telling tales of the paranormal, sometimes it's fun to let you guys listen to other people. I'm going to step aside here and let those who have experienced something paranormal tell you about it. So without further ado,
So I think probably the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me just happened. When I woke up this morning, my phone said that my storage was full, so I went to my photos to delete some, and the very first one was a photo taken last night of me asleep in my bed. It was an overview photo. And the creepy part is I'm home alone with my 10-month-old daughter. My wife's been out of town in Colorado for a week. I live in Washington. There's no way that my 10-month-old could have taken the photo because she sleeps in a crib in one room over, and there's no way she could have crawled out of her crib, came into my room, got my phone, and then found a way to stand like 5 feet above my bed and take the picture. It's not possible. And even if she did, there would be a notification on the app for her camera. So I'm super freaked out right now. I feel like there's someone in my house. I feel like there's someone watching me, and I don't know what to do.
Number 2.
Growing up in Appalachia, we have no shortage of ghost stories. So here's one that happened to me and my mother back when I was about 11 years old. So growing up in this house that I spent about 7 years of my childhood in, we had an experience where a man had actually hung himself before we moved in. So we had reoccurring things that happened, such as our dog stopping in the exact spot where he hung himself, and their hair would stand up and they would growl looking up, like they'd be looking at where his body would have been as it was hanging. And their hair would just stand up, and they would do this about once a week, once every other week, and it would last for 5 or 6 minutes. That's just the background of this house. And that's enough to just pretty much end the story right there. But we talk about mimic behaviors and stuff on here, and how things tend to try to mimic things that they might think your loved ones would do to get your attention. Because if you know about like supernatural entities, when you show them attention, they gain power and gain a hold on you. So if you're ignoring the things they're doing, they might want to try to trick you into showing them that attention. So my brother at the time, he's 9 years younger than me, so he'd have only been a couple years old at this time. And he used to hold his blanket and he would suck his thumb, and he would do this like huff and puff noise. It's hard to describe, but it would just be like when he would suck his thumb. And there was a morning where he had already gone to daycare. I think he was at daycare, and my mom had came back, and I was like sick that day. I was staying at home. So it was just me and my mom in the house, and she was in bed still. Anyhow, she was laying there, and she was kind of in that state where you're like kind of awake, kind of not. And she feels a very distinct tapping on her shoulder, and she was laying, with her back towards the room, and she was facing the wall. She felt this distinct tapping, and she just kind of like got wide-eyed because she knew that she didn't hear anybody open her bedroom door. She knew that she didn't hear anybody walk over to the bed. Her bed was also kind of tall, so she knew that he wouldn't be able to reach her easily, and I would have had to climb on the bed to actually reach her where she was at. So she's like kind of eerie because she knows somebody just tapped her on the shoulder, and she laid there. She said a few seconds went by, and she feels it again, but this time it's a little bit harder. It was like a long, solid press, on her shoulder. And she just said at this point, she's wide awake, and she's just freaked out. She does not want to roll over. And right in her ear, she just hears... And just like the little huff and puff my brother normally would do when he would suck his thumb. And so she rolls over like in a snap. Like she just snaps over real as fast as she can. And obviously there's nothing in this room. I'm getting cold chills talking about this. And this was like the same day, but that afternoon. After my mom came in and she'd asked me, she was like, "Hey, was that you? Did you come in there and then run out of the room?" And, she knows this can't be true. It can't happen. But she's wanting to reiterate. And that afternoon, they had actually left me. I was a latchkey kid. A lot of the kids in the 90s were latchkey kids, and I was no different. And so they had, they'd gone to work. Dad had gone to work. Mom was, I think she was going to college at this time, actually, finishing up her teaching degree. So I was home alone. And somebody's coming down the hallway. I can literally hear the footsteps coming down the hallway of my house. And I'm in my bedroom door, and I used to always keep my bedroom door locked when I was home alone, just in case somebody broke in or whatever. And I'm like hearing somebody's footsteps coming down the hall, and I know they're coming down this hallway. And then like the doorknob jiggles. To this day, it's like I blacked out. Like it was like an hour later, and then I was just like sitting on my couch. I had a couch in my bedroom, and I was just sitting on the couch, and I was like, "What? You know what?" Like I remembered it like it just happened a second ago, but when I looked at the clock, it was an hour past. That's an hour that I have lost entirely of my life. No idea why. And as I'm telling this story, my dogs are going nuts. It's a full moon tonight, and there's like some crashing in the woods back there, so we're signing out.
Number 3.
Y'all old lady ghosts need to take your ass on somewhere. Quit scaring the shit out of people in the middle of the night. Woke up last night and there was an old lady standing right there at the corner of the bed staring at me. She was doing that old woman like titter, you know, like hee 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 hee, you know, like that. Scared the shit out of me. Yeah, she laughed and said, "Won't be long. Won't be long." That's what she said. Sounded like a really country old lady. Won't be long. Won't be long what? I know it wasn't a dream either because my fiance asked me, "What are you staring at?" And I lied and said nothing because I didn't want to tell her there's some creepy ass old lady standing at the end of the bed. And then when I woke up this morning, I asked her, "Hey, did you ask me that last night?" And she was like, "Yeah." Giggling ass old lady. Gray hair, white nightgown, just, you know, liver spots on her arms, just fucking creepy as shit. Nothing against old ladies either. Old ladies in general aren't creepy. Old ladies are only creepy when they're not supposed to be in your house and you open your freaking eyes and they're standing right there.
Number 4.
I just want to give a disclaimer before I talk about this that this is not a joke. This is actually something very serious. It's very scary for both my fiance and I. There are some nights that he is perfectly fine and other nights that he will literally wake up in the middle of the night, like seeing images, whether it's creatures like a spider, a snake. Sometimes he'll see actual human entities, like he'll see a man standing in the corner or whatever. But before I go any further to what happened last night, I just want to do a trigger warning because this is very sensitive and I don't want TikTok taking this down because I didn't give a trigger warning. So if you at any point feel uncomfortable watching this, please scroll. So the last thing that happened was about a month ago. Our bedroom door was open and our bathroom door was cracked and it was dark, obviously. And my fiance saw this human-like hand, like the color of my skin, coming out from behind the bathroom door, going like up and down the door like this. Which, I mean, yeah, that was, you know, really scary. I closed the bedroom door after and nothing has happened since until early this morning, around 1:30 a.m. Mind you, I had taken these, so I passed out in like an hour, right? I was dreaming and I thought in my dream I heard my fiance say, oh my God, babe, oh my God, wake up, what is that?" I woke up, like literally not knowing what the heck was going on, and I look up to see my fiance going like he's just staring directly at our TV. And I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you seeing something again? Do you need a flashlight?" So I didn't see anything, obviously. I got my phone, I shined my light, and there was nothing there. So I took my hand and I put it like right by his head, and he literally gripped my hand and just kind of like cradled it. And I did that so that he would know that I was there and that he was okay. So of course this morning comes around and I asked him if he was okay, and he said that he did not sleep well. And I asked him this time, I always ask him to try to describe like what he saw. And what he saw and how he described it, this was the first time that it gave me like full body chills. He saw at the foot of our bed a tall man, bald, no shirt on, very skinny. His eyes were like glowing white, kind of, and I'm getting chills already. He was literally staring at my fiance, like staring at him, like this, and just smiling. So I wasn't awake for any of this, I guess, but my fiance took a pillow and literally threw it towards the TV. And this is the part that really made my heart drop in my ass. He said when he threw the pillow, the guy didn't move. He just stood there. And then he raised his arm up like this and pointed at my fiance. I'm getting chills again. And then I turned the flashlight on and he was gone. And my fiance was just very heavily breathing. And I'm like, hey, you're okay, go back to sleep. I'm seriously considering wherever I can get some, saging our room, because I feel like holy water isn't gonna do this justice, especially if he saw something standing right at the foot of our bed. I'm not sure what is going on in my fiance's mind or what he's dreaming about, but it's really been freaking the both of us out. Anyway, if you have any word of advice or anything that I should really consider doing, please let me know in the comments, because I am desperate. I don't really want him to see anyone, but if I can sage, holy water, whatever I can do, salt even, please let me know.
And that's the end of today's content. Hopefully this was some chicken soup for your twisted soul. If you enjoyed today's content, consider clicking the buttons like, comment, share, subscribe, all fantastic ways to help this channel. Just know no matter what you do, I appreciate your viewership, and I'll scare you in the next one.